Hello, everybody, and welcome to Heat Gaming. My name is Tricky Dicky. Unfortunately, Senshi couldn't make it today, so I'm going to be covering and doing it myself. This might be kind of a shorter podcast, honestly, just because I've never done a podcast alone, and the gaming news has been kind of slow just because of all the deals and stuff. You try to look at video game news right now, and the only thing you're going to hear about is deals on Amazon, deals at Walmart, a bunch of stuff like that. And I'm done talking about sale deals. So I think I'm just going to talk about some news. Obviously, we're here to look at Fortnite. That's the biggest thing. So we're going to do that first. Let me just get a few things set up here. Okay. So, let's see here. We can just hop in because Season 5 is finally here, and I want to check out all these skins. I kind of looked at them yesterday, but I didn't get a really good chance to do so. So I saw these first two, like, right in the beginning of the Battle Pass. Let's see, this one's called Huntress, and this one is Drift. So Drift is the guy from the trailer, or if you booted up Fortnite and you saw the intro cutscene, that's that guy. But it looks like he has a bunch of different styles, other than just the regular guy from the cutscene. And then let's see if she had stuff too. I don't think so. I don't know if she changes at all. No, I think that's it. But that's pretty cool. I enjoy that because I've been playing the new God of War a whole bunch. So that's a pretty cool skin to see. Looks just like all that kind of stuff. A lot of this other stuff I don't really care about, but you can just pause it and look at it if you're into that sort of thing. Skins, emotes, stuff like that. I do like the balloon axe. That's pretty interesting. It's basically the harvesting tool, but it's like a balloon animal, basically, if you're listening, and that's pretty funny. Let's see. What's the next coolest thing? Oh, I did see this one. The lanterns is a cool. What are these called? Contrails. Let's see. Redline is, I don't know, kind of boring to me. It's just some chick that rides a motorcycle with no sleeves, which is just a bad idea in general. Always wear proper biking attire when riding a motorcycle, kids. Let's see here. The golf ball toy looks neat. I think I saw a video of somebody kill someone with a golf ball. I don't know if it's actually possible. Maybe I was wrong, but they were just kind of like sitting there, and then whack, just killed them. Like they were downed already, so they were almost dead in the first place. But I think that was pretty funny. Let's see what else here. New dances. One thing that amazes me about all these different seasons of Fortnite is just like the amount of content they're constantly making. I can't imagine how many people must work there to keep up with all this stuff. Like, we just got a new season, a new battle pass, and like each battle pass has so much stuff in it. Like, it's honestly baffling the amount of content that comes with this stuff. A new harvesting tool, the lug axe. That looks pretty cool. I think that's a cool one anyway. So that's pretty neat. Let's see here. I'm gonna go through some other stuff too. Runic, which is, I don't know, it's not that noticeable, but it's kind of cool. Then, oh, a new glider. Oh, yeah, that's right. A new glider. It looks like a llama Viking boat, which is pretty cool, actually, but it's funny. I feel like you'd be super noticeable flying down in that thing. That'd be kind of ridiculous, honestly. But let's see what else we got. Anything else good? Another toy, a beach ball. I'm not too familiar with how those work, to be honest. I don't know how the toys work at all. But I'll have to check it out because I've seen people use them, but I don't know if they actually affect anything in game. Like if you hit somebody with them or something. Who knows? Sunstrider is a new skin for this battle pass. It's basically, it looks like a lifeguard. It says lifeguard, but there's a lot about it that, like, it doesn't look like a lifeguard to me. Like her arms say rescue, which is, which is fine. But I don't know, just the full sleeved like jacket thing just doesn't look lifeguardy to me. It's kind of a weird one, honestly. I'm really not sure. I don't know how I feel about that one. But let's see what else there is. I don't know. That one is pretty cool. I'm bagging on it, but I think it's a pretty neat one. It's just kind of off-putting. I don't know. It just didn't seem like a lifeguard to me for some reason. Let me run through these a little bit more. You got the rear guard. It's a shield that looks pretty sweet. It's more Norse stuff. The glitch in the system is you don't need the battle pass to get it. Level 54. That one's cool. I like that a lot. Because not only is it a contrail, but it also like kind of glitches out your body. If you see, you can see an effect on your whole body. So that one's a neat one. I like that a lot. Let's see what else. There's fancy golf ball, whatever. It's not much of a difference. Another dance. It's a lot of dances, which is pretty crazy. The amount of like research and animation they probably have to do to get those dances. Ooh. So this one's called Ice Crystals. I didn't see this one before, but this one's pretty neat actually. Your like hands and feet are freezing with ice crystals. That's interesting. And Sledgehammer looks cool. Just looks like, I don't know, a Navy SEAL or something. It's a neat one though. He's got a big old beard, backwards hat, and just like a desert camo, like army stuff. He looks more like a contractor, to be honest, than a actual military person. But I digress. Fancy beach ball. Excuse me. Splashdown is cool. It's a glider, but it's the one that's supposed to go with the lifeguard. It looks like a big rescue boat with big propellers on the side. It's really like big and fancy looking. That's probably the most exciting glider I've seen. So that's intense. Then Rook is a skin, or it says an outfit. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's kind of lame. It's like a lady in a like professional office attire, but then on top of that, she's wearing some military stuff like a ammo belt and a looks like a bulletproof vest. But that's it. That's the only difference. Everything else is just like a skirt and a shirt with a tie and just like fancy boots. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, but it is what it is. Fancy basketball. See, I don't know how any of those work, but we have a basketball now. There's a new dance, like there always is. Then let's see. Ooh, yeah, see, that's a cool one. Oh, dang it. Why did I lose? Okay, here we go. Ragnarok. Oh, man. That's pretty cool. Oh, he has a lot of different outfits for him. That's crazy. Huh. I didn't know legendary skins work that way, but I think I'm learning now. So they start at like one stage, then you keep unlocking more and more things for that skin. That's pretty intense. So he's like a Viking type dude, and then his outfit gets more and more intense until the last two, where he has this giant skull on his face that you've probably seen in pictures somewhere. I've seen that in a lot of promotional material, but that's pretty intense looking. So, dang, that's cool. Cool beans. Good job, Fortnite. It's a lot of cool stuff. And I've seen some more stuff in the shop, like this flytrap guy. Let me see if he pulls up again, because it's all his other stuff. There it is. Flytrap is, this is a weird one. I don't know what they were going for with this, but I guess he is like a Venus flytrap, but in a person form. He's confusing. He's just got red skin on his face and big elf ears, but his entire body's like black, and he's got this giant mohawk, but it's not like hair. It looks like it's part of this like weird plant skin that he has. I don't know. That's a weird one, man. I don't understand. I mean, his other stuff is cool, but I wouldn't make a good harvesting tool. It's a plant. That doesn't make any sense. But I guess they also have the balloon animal harvesting tool, so I can't really expect it to make sense. The Venus flyer is pretty neat looking too. I like it. I'll be honest. I just don't like the skin. That's weird. It creeps me out. I don't want to look at it anymore. So we have this like disco set too. It's pretty cool. I actually like this way better. I'd rather have the disco guy. So this guy's got a shiny gold vest and like giant afro and these big angular sunglasses. He's a pretty cool looking guy. He's definitely gonna look the best doing any of the dance emotes, I'll tell you that. And his harvester is a giant disco. It says disco brawl is what it's called. It's basically a disco ball, but like the points of the pickaxe are sticking out through it like it's broken. That's a pretty good one. I like it. The disco set is pretty sweet. But anyway, I think that's like the coolest stuff that came with season 5. If you saw the promotional video that plays like when you open Fortnite, the like season 5 intro basically is what it is. That was pretty neat to see. Just like the way they cut back and forth between the game world and the real world. So that was pretty funny. I mean, we got it. We nailed it on the head pretty much what the theme of this season was going to be. And they just handled it pretty cool though. I'm excited to see all the stuff. I haven't played a game yet, but I don't want to because I want to focus on talking to you guys. So yeah, anyway, that was pretty funny. I don't know, like I feel like the Fortnite videos, like the cutscenes are getting more and more intense each time, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. I kind of talked about this last week, just like the rate of growth that it's had. It's got to hit a wall at some point. Like there has to be a point where they've made so much cool stuff that they're just like, well, we've done everything. Like there's not that many cool things we can do anymore. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm pretty sure that's going to be on the horizon. It sounds crazy, but they've been releasing so much stuff. That's crazy to me. Like the amount of content they've been putting out in the past couple of seasons. Like it's nuts. But it's making them a lot of money, so I guess it's just what they do. Speaking of Fortnite, though, as I move on to the news, I have a couple of articles about Fortnite. First one, I guess they had an official competition that I didn't hear about, and it was pretty bad. Let me finish pulling this up here. Yeah, it's a PC Gamer article. The title is literally Epic's first official Fortnite competition was a total disaster. So that obviously caught my eye. But let's see here. Yeah, they say it was a train wreck. I guess they invested $100 million in prize money alone for this, which is insane. I didn't think they would do something that big. And this is, I kind of talked about this last time. We were talking about esports and like Fortnite in the esports world. And I said that it wouldn't make sense. It'd be really hard to do. Like, I don't understand how they would do Fortnite in esports. And this kind of proves my point. Like, some of the issues that I thought of came up to here. So, apparently, they were all remote, which, like, I understand they probably had to with Fortnite because you get so many people playing at the same time. But that, like, it brings up connection issues that you shouldn't have in an esports environment. And that's why all of the big esports games like Overwatch, League of Legends, they all play in an arena together on a local network. Excuse me. So that you don't run into those issues. That shouldn't be an issue when playing, competitive esports is connection issues. So apparently some of the best competitors died because of latency issues, and the casters just kind of laughed it off, and it wasn't like a big deal. I guess at one point, it says, at one point a private planning spreadsheet appeared on screen for all the viewers. 10 matches were promised, 4 were broadcast. And that it was a very arbitrary way of inviting people to play, so a lot of people didn't even get to play that people thought they should have. And apparently playing was really, really boring, and like camping, because you had to like overall win twice to win the prize. So I guess everybody was just camping, and it was super boring. And it just like I thought of too, like trying to watch something like this. It was almost impossible to follow, is what the article says. um Fortnite doesn't really have a good like camera spectating system, so they were basically swapping between each of the main competitors' Twitch feeds, which is crazy. Like with 100 players playing in a match, like trying to switch in between everybody and seeing where the action is. But that just, these are things that they should have had before they did a big esports type match. Uh-oh, hold on one second. Wow, excuse me. I had a food delivery guy looking for someone named Christina. That is not me. There's nobody named Christina that lives here. So thanks a lot, food delivery guy. I would have taken it though. I should have taken it, honestly. I'm pretty hungry. Goodness gracious. I wonder what it was. It was kind of a small bag, so maybe it wasn't anything good. I like really bad for you foods that come in big ass paper bags. But I don't know. It is what it is. Either way, I apologize. If you're listening on the podcast, I would have cut that out anyway, so you probably didn't even hear that. But somebody knocked on my door and freaked me out while I'm trying to record a podcast here. Anyway, to wrap that article up, the competition was a disaster. Like I said, the camera angles were bad. Like the perspective trying to watch it was terrible. And they cut in that spreadsheet. That's kind of embarrassing that would happen. And apparently it was just super boring because everybody was super cautious. They're not going to play super aggressively when there's money on the line like that, you have to get first place. You're gonna just camp. Like when you want to get far, that's what you do. You hide and you play really cautiously. So yeah, you don't want to fight very much at all. Like you're not going to be aggressive. So the action's not going to be fun to watch. It's not going to be cool. So yeah, like I know battle royale is super popular right now, but it's just not made for esports. I don't think. I can't see a way it's working that would be like entertaining to watch and that anybody would want to watch. Really, I don't think anybody would enjoy it, to be honest. Um, but that's just, I don't know. That's just my opinion, I suppose. But apparently somebody else thinks that because there's an article on PC Gamer talking about how bad it was. So whatever. So that was the Fortnite competition. That went kind of bad. But let's see. I had something else about Fortnite as well. Oh yeah, the let me see here. I'm gonna pull this up so we can talk about it. Epic Games is suing a teen, and the federal court says it's cool. Go ahead, sue the crap out of them. Basically, Epic Games was suing a bunch of people that used cheating like software, like they made cheats and cracked the game. It changed the code of the game, and there was a kid that not only used this stuff to cheat in the game, but was also either just distributing or selling it. Let me double check. Either way, he was helping a lot of other people use these tools to hack the game and cheat and stuff like that. So his mom wrote a letter and then tried to get like the charges dropped, trying to say like, oh, he's just a kid, like you can't sue him. A big company can't sue a 14-year-old boy. But the federal court looked at the case and they were like, well, he agreed to the what is it, the EULA. He agreed to it. He wasn't supposed to because he's not 18, but he did so illegally, and he is now responsible for his use of that stuff. So the federal government was like, yeah, Epic, go ahead and sue the pants off this 14-year-old kid. So that's going to happen. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's important that he, learns some sort of lesson and gets some punishment for what he did. But I just think it's kind of unfortunate because I don't know, he's a 14-year-old kid. If they're gonna sue them for like an actual like a lot of money, like maybe his parents aren't in a good position to do so. So that's what would be unfortunate. I think it's important for him to like learn a lesson and be taught that that was wrong what he was doing. But at the same time, like what if that like puts his parents into bankruptcy or something? That's not what should happen. So I don't know. That's a tricky situation. Maybe they should just sue them for a little or something. Like I don't know, find some sort of settlement, because I think suing the pants off of that family until they're poor is probably not the way to go. But he definitely needs to face some sort of justice. So I understand where they're coming from. It is what it is. Let's see here. What else do I got? So we're done with Fortnite for a little bit. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I've been talking about it too much already. I can't do it forever. So let's see what else I have. One thing I was excited to tell Senshi, but he's not here, so hopefully he is listening or is checking it out later. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is actually getting more updates on the Nintendo Switch. So the updates haven't been confirmed yet, but let me pull the article up. They talked about the fact that they are going to update it soon. So we don't know with what, but we'll just have to see. the one big thing I remember actually is that you can build the Nintendo Labo and use it to steer. So that's a pretty fun one. But there will be further updates for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so please look forward to it, he said. Who said? Oh, Shinya Takashi? Yeah, Takashi. He's the one that said there's going to be further updates. So we're not sure, but it'll be pretty cool when it comes out. Not sure what's going to be on there. I don't really know who I would want added. If they're going to be adding like characters, I feel like the roster is so big at this point. I don't even know who to add. I can't think of anything. If you can think of somebody, let me know in the comments or something. Because I feel like every major player in the Mario franchise has a car, you know? I think maybe the only person I could think of is like Captain Toad, maybe because of their new game they released, Captain Toad. I could see him having a car and like him driving. That'd be kind of funny. Other than that, though, that's like the only other character I can think of. Maybe like something to do with Cappy. Like Cappy's not, Cappy won't drive obviously, but maybe they'll just add Cappy to Mario in the game. I could see that actually. They've been pretty big about it. Kind of bouncing back to online competitive games. Overwatch had a bunch of new features that we've talked about extensively at this point. The endorsements feature and the looking for group system. They're great features. They work really well. I love them, honestly. Like personally, I really, really like them. The way they work is actually phenomenal, like surprisingly. And now Jeff Kaplan, Big Daddy Jeff, says abusive behavior has declined significantly since the new social features were rolled out. Now that's surprising. It's only been a few like weeks, I think, since the looking for group feature came out. Excuse me. And that's pretty intense, I guess. Let's see. Competitive matches containing abusive chat were down 26.4% in America and 16.4% in Korea. Let's see. The percent of daily players being abusive has shrunk by 28.8% in Americas and 21.6% in Korea. I guess that's the, okay. Yeah. So that's the only stats they have right now. But dang, that's actually pretty good. And then this just kind of explains like how it works. So that's a lot. That's a big decrease, in my opinion. I didn't think they would have. Where am I going here? Let me go to something cooler on the battle pass. I didn't think it'd be that much of a big impact, but I guess I've noticed it now. The more I think about it, like I haven't really seen people like flame or get super mad. So that's pretty awesome, actually. Like, good for Blizzard. They figured it out. I usually have mixed feelings about the way that they try to like police the community on Overwatch. They're always trying to force everybody to play nice and make a nice, cushy gaming experience for everyone. But this was actually done really well. I think they did a good job. I think it's working really well, like surprisingly well. And I think they deserve some credit for that. That's honestly pretty great. That's got to be one of the biggest things about playing games online is just how crappy people can be when you're online. That's just the fact of the internet, really. And that's something that Blizzard actually kind of figured out to a point. Like, they've done a good job so far. And it's impressive, honestly. I think it's a pretty good job on their part. And good job, Blizzard. So I will say that. Let's see a few more things. So apparently the the Battlefield 5 beta will take place in early September. I don't think I have an exact date. Let me see if I can find one. It's going to have an open beta. Battlefield 5 will have an open beta, and it'll take the first part of September. Yeah, so I don't have a specific date, but it's gonna be early September, so it's not too far away, honestly. I guess they have done some stuff so far. They've already been speeding up and tuning the game, so it sounds like the multiplayer is pretty done. It's just getting fine tuned, which makes sense if they're going to be ready for an open beta by September. I would say they're probably pretty close to done. They're just touching up a few things here and there, so that'll be exciting. I'm not a big Battlefield person myself, but this one actually looks pretty good, and a lot of people are excited. So I figured I'd mention it. Early September open beta. There you go. Battlefield 5. Then another one is Elder Scrolls Blades. This was a game I didn't even know about until I saw this article, but it's pretty cool looking, actually. Crap, hold on. There we go. So apparently it's going to be like a mobile game, but it's going to look really good. It's going to be like console quality graphics is what they used to say like how good it would look. But it's going to be first person role playing adventure on your smartphone. Let's see here. It was interesting because you can apparently play it landscape or portrait. Like it has controls for both. So I guess you can like play Elder Scrolls while like holding coffee or like drinking something or like eating something. Like you can do it one-handed, which is pretty crazy. Apparently there's like a little story to it that I don't really have to get into. But I guess you can either tap or use dual stick controls or hack and slash on the screen. Like it's a bunch of different control schemes, so I'm gonna have to check it out. It sounds pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, backstory I don't really need to get into, but apparently it's only gonna be on the latest phones. Like it's not gonna release on all phones. It's only gonna release on the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, the S8 and the S8 Plus, and the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. Those are the only phones that are compatible with the early access program for the game. But after initial launch, they plan on releasing it on current gen consoles and PC, with cross-platform play. So even if you don't have one of those new phones, you can probably just wait a little bit longer and play it on whatever you do have, because you probably play video games somewhere, otherwise you wouldn't listen to this podcast. But yeah, it'll come out on consoles and PC eventually. So if you don't want to clutter up your phone with this giant, really nice console looking game, then I guess that's a solution as well. I'm going to try it on my phone. I'm going to be getting an S9 Plus soon. So, I'll try out the game whenever it comes out. And then if it doesn't work out that well, then I'll just delete it and get it on something else. I wouldn't mind getting it on like a console or something, like the Switch. I'd get it on my Switch. I think it'd be probably fun for the Switch, like a little mobile something or other. That'd be kind of cool. So I guess we'll just see how that turns out. That's not out yet, but hopefully soon. You can pre-register for it on the Google Play Store, and they'll notify you when it's ready to download. So that's a cool one. I have kind of a weird article. More Valve and adult video games in the news. They have been withholding adult games from Steam right now. I guess they're working on new tools to filter out games like this to, I guess, tailor the store experience more towards each customer, which is a good idea. I understand that, but for now to just like block them until they're ready, I think is kind of silly. Like they already had them on the store, and to now like change what you have available to them because you haven't figured your stuff out yet. I just don't know if that's fair. I mean, I'm not like even the big weeb that I am. I'm not like I've never played a game like this, but I know a lot of people do, obviously, because every time Steam like tries to ban them or block them, like people freak out. Like there's a giant public outcry about it. So, it's obviously a big deal. And I don't know, I think they should just wait until they have their own system and then implement it. I don't think they should block them for now. I don't really know what their big push to change this is. I don't know why they've been so upset about adult games lately. Maybe I'm missing something and something happened that they have a reason to feel this way and act this way, but as far as I know, they've allowed games like this until now, and then now they're freaking out and changing a bunch of things. So I don't know. I'm not sure why they're doing it or what's going on, but it's a weird one for sure. I'm really not sure what's going on. Steam's just being weird. Steam normally doesn't do any wrong in my eyes, but they're being kind of weird about this one. I don't know. I guess it's not super bad, and I'm not really angry about it because it doesn't affect me, but I still think they could have handled it a little bit better. So I don't know. It is what it is. My last big news article for the day is one that it's pretty upsetting. I was really sad when I read it. It's a story about Saudi Arabia. They banned a bunch of video games. So when I normally would read a headline like that, I usually get pretty upset because I don't like it when governments like ban video games and like blame things on video games. And I still kind of feel that way, but I'm still I'm not like up in arms because the situation is very unfortunate. Apparently, they banned a bunch of video games after a 13-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy killed themselves after playing a blue whale social media game. So apparently, and the article doesn't really make the connection clear, but they did it's a social media game, Blue Whale, which apparently they do a bunch of tasks, and then the last thing is they commit suicide. And it's not explicitly stated, but they, I guess, assumed or they believe that they were encouraged to do this by someone on an online game. Like they were talking to someone over a video game. So it obviously had nothing to do with the game itself, but it was like somebody they were playing with online, I guess, encouraged them to do this. So the Saudi Arabia, let me see, General Commission for Audiovisual Media said they were banning 47 games after this incident, including Grand Theft Auto 5, Assassin's Creed 2, Witcher, and it says for unspecified violations of rules and regulations. So I'm really like, I don't know how I feel about this entire article because it's not really like the connection's not made. I feel like maybe somebody's jumping to something because I don't really understand what one thing has to do with another, because they said they banned those games for unspecified violations of rules and regulations. I think this blue whale thing, I've honestly never heard of it before, but I guess it's the way they say social media game, I think it's just like a thing people do like on social media. It's not really a game. It's like a trend basically. I don't know how trending it is because I've never heard of it, but if that's what it is, that has nothing to do with video games, any of the video games in question. So whether they heard about it from somebody in an online game or not, it's not the game's fault that they talk to someone bad on the internet. That's what happens. That's why you don't let little kids like that play online games. That's not the game's fault necessarily, you know. That's what that's how I always feel in situations like this. Video games are always just dragged out and blamed for this sort of thing, and that never made sense to me. It's not the video game's fault. Like it's video games are just like any other media. It doesn't make people a certain way. It doesn't affect people badly, but getting online and like talking to people online is a risky thing to do. It always is. So if you're going to end up talking to somebody on an online video game, like you're taking a risk, and if you're allowing a young child to do so, you're taking a risk. That's not a good environment for a young child like that to just meet strangers on the internet. It's always a bad situation, but I don't think banning the games and creating culture that's like afraid of video games is the way to go, because it's just not the actual cause of the incident. Making that connection, just it makes no sense to me why people would make that connection. And it was one of those articles that's just built in a very like anti-video game kind of a light. So I had to share it. It is unfortunate for those children. Like I said, it did make me pretty sad just reading about it and kind of processing the situation. You could probably hear it, honestly. It's a hard one for me, but I wanted to share my opinion on the regulations in general because I don't think they're fair. I think the Saudi government's just kind of leaping to conclusions and they don't really understand, but a lot of people don't really understand video games, so it's just kind of the way it is. That's all the news I have. I know I got really serious there for a second, but I can just talk about my week real quick. I've been playing a lot of Mad Max, the game that came out. I think it came out close to when the movie came out. I don't know. It's a couple of years old by now, probably. But man, it's good. I honestly was surprised at how good it was. I've been playing it at work, so I have a job where I'm a night security guard, and I just sit in a chair pretty much the entire night. Every couple hours, I do a patrol and walk around. But other than that, my day to day at work is sitting around doing nothing. So that's when I get to do things that I want to do, like editing videos or doing homework, or I just play video games. I take my gaming laptop and play games there. I've been playing Mad Max every day for the past at least a week now, and it's really really good. It's an open world game. Like, if you're a fan of Mad Max, just imagine an open world Mad Max game that's done well, and you're probably already happy that it exists. It's a really cool one. You just drive around doing all these missions, upgrading your car, upgrading yourself, fighting bad guys, and it's super fun. There's a lot of driving, a lot of car customization. It's a pretty entertaining game. I've been enjoying playing it a lot. Other than that, I am still playing Detroit with my wife. We're about halfway through, I think. Maybe a little more than halfway. But so that's pretty fun. I let her play Kara and Marcus, and I play Connor, and that's a good fun. That's always a good time. And I'm also back on the PS4. I've been playing God of War a lot, is because God of War is amazing. Excuse me. It's honestly a really good game. I've been excited for God of War. But now that season 5 here, I might be playing some Fortnite again just because it's interesting. I want to check out all the new stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I think I'm going to cut this one a little bit short. We're just at 45 minutes, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up for you guys. So, thank you so much for watching. If you're listening to us in podcast form, thanks so much. Leave us a rating on whatever podcast app you're using. That would really help us out. But if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's about it. Try to check us out on our live stream Tuesdays. We're normally both here, but like I said, Senshi unfortunately couldn't make it, and that's just some unfortunate circumstances. But hopefully he'll be back next week, and everything should be fine. Um, and I think that's all I have for you. Yeah. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Peace.